What is up, everyone? Good morning. Give me 1 second. Let me enable all the la bullshit. How's everybody doing? All right. There we go. Hey, everyone. All right. Let me give it a couple of minutes for everybody to get here. All right. And 1 second. Let me just spam the link. The trade worked out perfectly. The gold trade. We'll take a look at it shortly. Let me just. There we go. One more minute, guys, and we are ready to rock and roll. Need to finish. Where's this thing? 1 second. Almost there. Come on. There we go. Boom. Okay. Let me just post on Twitter. And there we go. All right. All right, so let's start with Euro. So remember yesterday we were here and I was explaining to you why this is gold is going to have a similar setup, and we're probably going to go roll over. So euro dollar obviously rolled over, and then this gold yesterday, if you remember, when we were here at 9 a.m. yesterday, right? We were, pardon me, when at 9 a.m. this price action looked like this, like it's rolling over, and a lot of people are trying to sell this thing. I was explaining to you why I'm not selling this and when I'm going to sell it, right? And I explained to you how market makers manipulate and force unprofessional traders to get into shitty positions. And lo and behold, exactly what happened. I said that I want to see a pop above this liquidity, above this high, because a lot of people thought that this is the reversal, and I said, what's the number one question you have to ask yourself as a trader? Number one question you have to ask yourself: how would you fuck the most most amount of money out of most amount of people? And the way to do it is when you was to take out liquidity above this, basically run the stops, take the stop losses above the crowd that was shorting this, and then when lo and behold, we pop the stops and we reverse. So here we've accomplished two things. We fucked the shorts out of their money, and now the breakout traders, oh my God, we're going to new all-time highs, and it's going to keep on running like it was running here, for example, right? Now they're long, and now they're going to get stepped out by taking out their stop losses, you know? So, and it did. This is their stop losses, a little protection, stop run, and profit taking. All right, and then now what's happening now? Well, we can remove all this now, but this was a spot on analysis. I mean, you guys, if you just listen to the last week's explanations as to my thinking, if you can replicate any of this, you'll be very, very successful. All right, so we can remove all this right now because tomorrow is NFP. I don't think we're gonna have a lot of volatility. In fact, I think that the gold will probably keep on trickling down to about this area. My bet, again, this is not a high probability. It's more of a intuition because of years of experience, decades of experience, and I think because tomorrow is non-farm payrolls, which is going to be the employment data, right, for United States, which is going to provide a lot of volatility. I think the longs who've been long for all of this time probably going to take a little bit off the table, because since it's a um, volatile news release, uh, basically all of this week we've been just since Monday. This is Sunday open, since we were just nonstop traffic up. So before tomorrow, there will be some profit taking. This is going to provide a good area to get long. Can you short right now? Yeah, you can short right now as well. I would put it can get tricky, but I think we can. I would. This is a lower probability trade, unlike yesterday, and I would cautiously put stop losses above the second high, not this high. Okay. Again, we still have market open in 20 minutes, so this thing can reverse just like it did yesterday. But my 2 cents is nobody wants to push the price much higher, given the. I'm just gonna sell a tiny bit. Order filled. And again, I'm gonna control the risk, and I'm not gonna risk a lot. So I'm just gonna put it even above all-time high, just to be safe. So a tiny position, but still okay. So just a tiny position on just in case. Like I said, I think that the markets will trickle down. I've made. We didn't have it. I don't think since we started these webinars, I didn't have a single losing trade, not a single one. So I can risk a little bit in a lower probability tier type of trade now, because I have a nice cushion. I made in the last week I made whatever, week and a half I made $4,000, right? 4.2. So with that in mind, I can risk 500 and change to make a one-to-one trade here, because I think that the markets might be taking a pause from all the action. All right, so give me 1 second. I gotta execute these trades on my personal accounts as well. And again, very small size, because you have to know you can't take counter trend trades and expect rollovers, but know that you need to be your position size has to be completely different. You can't just have the same position size as you would normally if you're playing a lower probability type of scenario. Okay, so let's even take a look at, and you see the order book's quick. It's empty. It's empty. So market will probably not be doing a whole lot. You see, there are not a lot of not a lot going on. Unlike yesterday, remember it was just bloody red, right? So volume is low, order book is thin, so not a lot of interest today to commit a lot of capital. And with that said, give me a sec. Oh, Jesus Christ. 1 second, guys. Doing 20 billion different things. All right. Gold. So let's do a little bigger size. Boom. All right. And then I have to, 1 second, also issue a signal for my signal people who want to. 1 sec. Bear with me. Really appreciate it. Okay. So basically, this is the trade. I would just put it above here. There's a one-to-one, about one-to-one. I'm not even gonna. It might not even be one-to-one, but this, if we get somewhere around here, it'll be fine. I'll basically, if we start rolling over and we take out this low, I'll take half off and lock in the position as quickly as possible. So. Almost done. All right. So awesome. So basically, again, this is you have to always have to have a context as to where you are on the daily map of things, right, or the weekly map. Um, Today, I think, like I said, the fact that we're gonna the fact that we have big day tomorrow, I don't think that we're gonna have a whole lot going on. Does it mean I'm right? No, that's just my theory, and I'm willing to, because I didn't have any losing trades, because I'm okay now. The trend is still up, so this is a counter trend trade. But we are making short-term lower highs, lower lows. Lower highs, lower lows. So I think we can trickle down a little further before tomorrow. Can it have a pop? Yes, it can. So it can do. Again, everybody expects. So that's why my stops are above here. If we make all-time high again, like I don't want to risk this scenario, right? So I'm not gonna just leave the trade without a stop loss. So stop loss above the high or enough protection because I'm not the only one shorting this. There will be big guys sitting on the orders here to protect this level. Given again context that tomorrow is a very volatile day, unlikely that it can happen, but unlikely that commit people will be institutional players will be committing a tremendous amount of capital to push this price there. Okay, so that's and all right. So I'm just looking at the order book. So buyers want to step in around this level. I think makes sense. Let's go to the GC. So yeah. So this is yesterday. Let me just clean this up a little bit. All right, this is done. Unnecessary. All of this was yesterday, so let's do this, and we do this. All right, one sec. Just all right. So, and I'll here. So if we actually take out these lows, this is pretty again a very decent area of support. We've bounced. We broke out a retest, went up, retested it again, a little leg up, but quite. Like I said, my theory is that we're gonna trickle slowly dwindle down today instead of having. Can the markets be nasty and do another spike up because the trend is up? Absolutely, because we are at the value area. As you can see, every time we approach this 55 EMA in a uptrend, we tried to bounce. So we bounced here, but it's a little bit of an anemic bounce and a nice sell-off right after. So again, if we go on the super short time frame, you can see that we have trapped people who tried to short here, right? So on a 1 hour time frame, it looks like this, right? So you had people who shorted here expecting it to run further and didn't take profit, for example. Their stop losses were here. So this thing popped, it grabbed the liquidity, and that means there's not much going on upstairs. And now the market makers are going to take out the breakout traders that wanted to go long, and their stop losses are here. So at a bare, not a bare minimum, but it would the probability is that we're going to take out these lows, and then we can spike up or down or whatever. But the next big liquidity zone is here. You can see it on the heat map too. See that? So well, that's even before that, there are people buying at this value area. So we'll see what happens. Usually, like I said, I don't advocate pissing against the wind. I made a whole spiel about it. But once in a while, given the proper context, it can work. Like a Friday profit taking, or given a big news event like tomorrow. So we'll see what happens with gold. All right. So it's a little under the water now, but that's okay. Part of trading. All right. So let's see what's happening with NASDAQ and everything else. So S&P's rallying. Okay. I mean, to be quite honest, we haven't done fuck all in equities since November. Okay, since election, pretty much. So before that, we had the rally, and now we have the consolidation. So markets are kind of trying to figure out all the Trump actions, how they will how if they're going to be beneficial or detrimental for the market. So we just have a consolidation, essentially, and that is telling us that it's uncertain. So for clear direction, we need some kind of breakout and sustainable rally or breakdown for us to. Right now, just on a longer term time frame, I'm not seeing anything that's super lucrative. Let's take a look at futures. Yeah, so this was the high. We popped a little bit again to trap people who thought this is a breakout, and then we reversed in them. And right now I would be cautious. So we can just consolidate, then go down, then go up for quite a while, just like Bitcoin. Right? See, Bitcoin popped a new high, suckered idiots in, and rolled over. And I've been telling you to just play the range here. So there's nothing to do in the middle of the range. You buy here, you sell here at extremes, and until you have closing basis below or above, that's just, that will be the first warning sign. Okay, so one sec. ETH is very like I was talking about ETH yesterday. It's the fact that it couldn't take out the previous all-time high with the Bitcoin rallying from 60 to 100K, and then the massive sell-off of 30% in a couple of days period of time. Let's just measure it. So in a couple of days, it sold off 35%. That's a lot of, that's pretty fucking ridiculous. Right, so that means that the buyer, whoever holds the institutional big players who hold ETH, they don't believe in this motherfucker that much. If they let the thing drop like that, that means not a lot of interest in buying it, and God forbid Bitcoin starts selling off below this support, ETH is going to tank to toilet. It's just so like I've explained yesterday, I'm holding long term, but I'm going to reduce my position in ETH probably to zero and just have everything in Bitcoin for longer term holds. All right, dollar index. We had BOE today come out, and as expected, they cut rates, said they're dog shit, and they are dog shit, and that's the state of affairs in Europe. Whether it's Britain, which one is worse, Britain or EU? To me, they're both equally fucked and are terrible places to be right now due to their political idiocy. And anyway, I'm not gonna get into that, but yeah, which one is? Somebody asked me on the what I think about euro pound. And obviously, we just had the reaction. EU pumped against pound simply because pound was in the news and euro wasn't. But both of them are just absolute dog shit. Which one is the biggest loser? I don't know. This is not a TV show. I don't know. Don't really care. Both of them should be. They're not. I wouldn't want to hold any of these shits at this time. Okay. So we can remove this. But the interesting part of the short-term time frame is this: you still have to draw fibs and see where we land. Oh, looky here. First stop, 38.2. First stop, you can see, boom, right to the fucking pip to the zone, right? Plus little area of support resistance here. Support. Now turn this. So we'll see if we get a turnaround and we start dwindling lower. And then if we take out, pretty much we start dwindling lower, a little bit of a pullback. I need this to make an attempt at a high and then a low. That's when I'm gonna say, okay, this is kind of like you did here. You see, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher lows, until this picture switched here, right? So then it started minting lower highs. So this was the first attempt at bounce. It bounced, and then once it took out this low, this is what happened. Okay, the sell-off, right? So 160 pip drop. Obviously, it was a Sunday open, blah 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 blah. But that's what I want to see here. I want to see this. That's when I'm gonna start looking for sells. Right now, it's still climbing, obviously. So just because I think Europe is dog shit, I always say you have to trade what you see and not what you think, because we're all fucking geniuses in our own minds, right? And so we think, oh, this is gonna do this or that, and price action that's completely different. And as a mature trader, well, one of the skill sets you should develop is realizing when you're wrong, when your thesis is wrong, and just admitting it and moving on, clearing your headspace, your bandwidth, capacity from garbage, and it's like a recycling bin. You just move, erase the trash and the trashy trade. So right now it's not looking. Again, you have to right now be patient to see what happens. I'm not particularly keen on buying this, but it's too soon to sell. So I'm just gonna let the price develop a little bit, and that's what you need to do. You have to allow price to develop to give you those setups, like we had the setup yesterday with gold, right? Even though it was kind of trend trade, but it was 100% spot on, exactly played out to the T. And when you see the things playing out exactly as you think, that's when you put on those bigger trades. When that's if it's not as good, you should reduce your trade sizes, obviously. And anyway, so yeah. All right, let's take a look at. Let's take a look at S&P. Again, a lot of we're still for our bases, right? Lower highs, lower lows. So, and we are arriving at the resistance now. So if I'm gonna start seeing rollover here, this might be interesting actually. So if I see a wick, and then I put my stop loss above here, ride it to probably new low, but I'll probably close it before tomorrow. Again, I closed my gold last night. The short. I closed it at before the where did I close it? I closed it before the U.S. session end, right? When the session was ending, I just closed it as an intraday trade, whatever. No biggie. So tomorrow before news, you should probably close your shit as well. Simply because you shouldn't have trades on prior to the news. Very simply, because it's a coin flip. So at least the what you can do is secure some profit and put your stops at break even. If you're nicely in profit, just put it at break even. But overall, yeah, not a big fan of having positions on prior to the news. Okay, so All right, let's see. Silver. I'm watching silver correlated markets as always, so I want to see what silver does. So far, this is just the top of the range. You can either do that. If I have a close above, I'll reconsider my gold position, but it's also coming into the resistance. So silver is making lower lows, lower highs on a 15-minute time frame. So hopefully it will do one more, and which will allow us to make some money with the gold, right? So gold is also making lower lows, lower highs. So the trend is still down. I better sell is here, like this. But whatever, it is what it is. Let's see if it works out. Again, tomorrow is big news day. I'm not really looking to do much today. You have to pick your battles. You just, every time somebody challenges you to a fight, you're gonna be, if every day somebody challenges you to a fight and you fight every single day, in 6 months you're gonna be, a walking pulp, you know. So pick your battles. You don't have to fight every single fight. You don't have, just because today is Thursday, and you don't have to have a big position on. You don't have any position on. You just understand that tomorrow is going to be a big volatile day, and tomorrow is the one. By the way, tomorrow we're doing 8 o'clock, and we start at 8:10 a.m. tomorrow, because 8:30 is NFP. So we'll do the NFP live. That's the big one. So tomorrow 8:30, 8:10 a.m. instead of usual 9 a.m. We're gonna have NFP, and we're gonna do this whole thing live. We have 1 minute till market open. But yeah, today I wouldn't do much today. You see, again, we look what this market is doing. This is S&P 500. We put it in a high. We put it in a higher high, with the people thinking, okay, we're gonna have this, a rally like this, and what does it do? It goes out and takes out their stop losses. This is their stop losses. Now, what did it do now? Again, it pushed above this high, again, stopping out people who were short this thing. They stopped them out now, suckered new buys in, and it's reversing on them right now. So this is a chop fast market. This is a market run by market makers to fuck the most people out of their money, because there's no clear direction right now. So realize which environment you're in. This is an expansion, as you can see. So realize that, and trade accordingly. All right. So yeah, it seems like the markets probably might roll over a little bit too, short term. But if we give first 5 minutes of the trading day, of the cash market open, you have executions of orders that were left overnight executions, right, based on yesterday's news and price. So the brokers and banks and everybody are executing these trades. Liquidity providers are executing the bullshit from last night. Okay, so let that bullshit chew through itself. It will give you some kind of opening range, and we'll see what it does. Whether this, that's where you trade. For now, like I said, before tomorrow, I don't think we're gonna have a whole lot going on. I wouldn't commit a lot of capital. So look at a sea of orders sitting on gold above this point, right? So I guess not too much interest. Not too much. Not too many. Well, there's a wall of buyers now too. So we'll see who the more sellers than buyers though. Orders. But buyers are still short term, are there and winning. So we'll see. We'll see how this picture changes. This is the last 10 minutes though, so doesn't. Let me scooch it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, given the context of today, tomorrow, this is where. Yeah, thank you guys. Do you keep an eye? No, I don't care about German index. It's not my thing. I mean, I don't mind trading it. Just it's super volatile, and if you live in EU, you can trade German DAX, right? Futures. I live in the United States, so for me, I have enough of things to look at. But yes, I keep an eye on it to look what's happening with the economy overall, like I do with China. I bought a whole slew of Chinese stocks like Baba, Alibaba, BYD, because they are what this is, yeah. So I started buying it a few weeks ago. So here at the 80, I'm long somewhere 80, I think 82 or something. So when we basically had a pop drop, I started accumulating a position here. The Chinese, this thing, look at this shit, So picking the bottom, playing pick the bottom, but again, Alibaba and China ain't going nowhere. Okay, even if they have a slump in the economy, So yes, I do keep an eye out. Same thing with Argentina. I was trading a lot of Argentinian banks. Where are they? So when their president got elected, I started accumulating positions here, and this is where we are right now. Okay, this is well, this is not, but this is these three are Argentinian banks stocks. So I do keep an eye out on low hanging fruits. I think Europe should turn around probably with Trump in power. Europe, the stupid fucking war will end in Russia and Ukraine. The biggest losers of that, obviously, well, Ukraine and Russia, but on top of that is Europe, because China and United States are having a field day, and Europe is sanctioning Russia, and while sitting and freezing their dicks off in, paying. So basically, Russia sells gas to India. India sells it to United States, and then the United States sells that gas to Europe instead of Russia selling it directly to Europe. It's the same fucking gas, but now it makes three more turns and three more hands touch it, and obviously mark it up. So Europe is just, it's the most brain dead, politically the most brain dead fucking place on earth, probably. It's because at least, if you compare it, if you live in a third world country, the ask from you is low. But when you're a first world country and you act like a fucking retard, then you are a retard, and deservedly so. So hopefully people in Europe will wake up, kind of like we did in the United States, with all the fucking nonsense, with the gender bullshit, all the woke political DEI policies that were invoked last five years is just ridiculous. All the politically correctness, it's just cancer, pure cancer. Men are not men anymore. Women are not women anymore. Everybody is, unhappy, on drugs, miserable, because you're not going with the natural program. And anyway, I don't want to get on that tangent, but Europe is undervalued, and obviously Germany is not going anywhere. They do produce, excellent stuff, even though there were so in the United States you're not allowed to buy Chinese cars, and it's not legal, right? So, but the Chinese are making cars right now, and I saw a bunch of videos of dudes comparing like high-end Mercedes to a high-end Chinese shit. And honestly, Mercedes just doesn't hold a handle. It's still plasticky and garbage inside, and everything squeaks and schmeeks, and you get like a whole lot more value. Obviously, the manufacturing costs in China are 1/5 of Mercedes, but that's something they have to consider if Germany wants to stay relevant in the world economy. They need to adjust their pricing costs, and if they're going to have all these bureaucratic laws that stifle the production, then they're simply not going to survive. And in the long term, it's why am I going to, if I can buy a same car at half the price with a different logo on it. Who gives a fuck, So for the most people, Anyway, so but Germany and Europe overall, there is value in it. If the war stops and if cheaper Russian gas starts flowing back to Europe, their factories, and again, Russia as market will be reopened, then a lot of goods and will start flowing back to Russia, and the demand will skyrocket for European products. So the economy is going to pick up. So if you want to invest, if you live in Europe and like Siemens and other companies that are huge, huge conglomerates, they will all benefit. So if you want to play purely on a stock play, all these companies will do tremendously well in the next couple of years if the war stops. And it looks like they're probably going to be finalizing that stupidity of a war, and I'm not taking sides, Russia, Ukraine. The war is just a waste. It's a waste because at some point it's going to end, and all these people died for nothing, for absolutely nothing. It's a waste of fucking people and time. So instead of anyway. So if that happens, and I think that will happen this year, then you should be looking to buy European stocks, blue chip stocks. You don't even need to be a goddamn genius. Like I said, Siemens, I don't know, not Kraft, but some heavy machinery stocks. All the food producers will probably benefit, etc. The car producers will benefit. So Volkswagen Group, probably VW, is beat up to shit with all their fucking German garbage. They got caught with that. I don't even know what's their stock ticker. But anyway, you can. How do you even spell Volkswagen? Fucking. No. Anyway, VW. You can look up. Research how to. Okay, let's do. Okay, it's OTC for me, so it's different for you guys. But yeah, so this is Volkswagen Group, the largest. Toyota and Volkswagen control like majority of market in car production. All right, so Volkswagen owns Audis, Lambo, I think. Obviously Volkswagen, et cetera, Porsche maybe. So they own a lot of. Manufacturing. They sell what 10, 20 million cars a year, while Tesla, for example, only sells like barely a million, even less. So, but Tesla is valued more than all the car companies combined. Anyway, trading at fucking $9 right now. I don't think it's going anywhere. This is going to 2010. We also had this huge. It went from $10 to $100. It's a 10x. Okay. This went nicely too. 50x. I mean 5x. Can you, instead of putting your $1,000 in stupid Bitcoin, which maybe put another 1,000 here. Well, you can have a Bitcoin too, but this is not a bad stock to be at. So because Volkswagen essentially got castrated for their diesel. They were cheating on the fuel emissions and the fucking stupid fuel emission lunacy in Europe. And anyway, they will recover. They're not gonna. They tried to close a plant, and Germany stepped in and basically said, "We know these factory workers needs to stay." So they gave them. The EU government will buckle to Volkswagen, because if Volkswagen says, fuck off, then the plants go out of business. And then what happens is what you have in the United States, Detroit, where it used to be one of the best cities in the country 50 years ago, strong cities at least, but now it's absolute hellhole, right? All the car manufacturing, 80% of it went out, and it's just a crime-ridden shitfest, so unless Germany wants to and Europe wants to become one of them, and they are becoming one of that, But if they want to put a stop to it, they're definitely not going to allow this to fail. So I would definitely, in fact, I'm going to buy some today. Um, this is, I think, not a bad way. Again, this is not a trade. This is more a long-term hold. Okay, so take money that you could forget about. So maybe for you it's $500, $1,000, and just put it in and forget about it until you see this. Okay, and it will come. Might take a year or two, but it will come. Okay, that's what with the stocks. Jeez, we're talking a lot about stocks today. Let's see what's happening with everything else. All right, so break even here. Let's see. Yeah, so today is not. Um, Markets are flat. US 30, NAS, just flat. Nothing is happening. Nobody's committing capital. It just kind of grinds hourly. Not this is all that happened in the last since Europe opened. So since last night, this is where markets closed yesterday, right here. This is market close at 4 o'clock right here, right? So we essentially we drifted higher, but now we're just running stops, and people who are inexperienced are just getting caught in this chop fest. Okay, this is not the environment you want to be. You fade the highs, you buy the dips, but I wouldn't even be buying this. I would just stay out until tomorrow. Nothing to do in equities, not in indices rather, not in equities. All right, so gold new low for the hour, excellent. 15-minute, whatever. So should be in profit. Yeah, well, break even, whatever. My entry was willy-nilly late, obviously, but gold is doing the same thing. It's just chopping about. So, the definition of a uptrend is higher highs, higher lows. Lower lows and lower highs is definition of the downtrend. And what we're doing here is called the Chop Fest 3000. Okay, so we run the stops of support here. We run the stops, turn around, run the stops above this high, turn around, and now probably go run the stops here. So I'll take profit here and fuck off into the sunset until tomorrow. All right. So if that happens, overall, I might just close position even sooner because again, this is just anemic, unpredictable, and maybe I don't want to. It just if I see it dwindle a little lower, I just fucking cut it and just chuck it to a slow day. And if it's a slow day and the paint, wall paint drying day, why stare at the wall while the paint dries, right? So just go do something else with your life. So we'll see. All right. On that note, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's, like I said, tomorrow, 10 a.m. So 20 minutes prior to NFPs, I'll be doing live. If whatever I decide to do with this position, I will tweet. So go to my Twitter, whatever, find it in the description page or whatever. You can find it yourselves. And then tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow, and let's rock and roll. All right. Thank you all, and be careful today. Don't overtrade, and just stay put. Don't take too much position size. If this starts running lower, take half off, put stops at break even, and go away. All right, that's my plan for today. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and check us out at fundingfutures.com, fundingtraders.com. Whatever floats your boat. Obviously, if you trade futures, you get to see internals of, where you can see the order books, you can see the volume footprint of every chart, every candle, who's winning, who's losing. Buyers are dominating, sellers are dominating. So you can see the last 15 minutes, 30 minutes, where the sellers are dominating the shit out of the buyers on the last 30 minutes on gold, and we're pushing lows. Most of the volume is at the bottom of the candle. So with the delta being dominated by, meaning there are more sellers than buyers, and they're pushing the price lower. So this candle will close in 12 minutes, so it can still change a lot. But in any case, you can do a lot more than just trading FX, where you're not gonna see. There's no central volume, so you won't be able to see stuff like this. Gold, for example, there's a huge level at 70 figure. You see this? Insane. And look at the amount of volume that is the buyers are sitting on, but the sellers are coming in hot, baby. So we'll see if we take the 70 level. That's going to be a big kahuna. Oh, and we're $100-something in profit. Look at here. Okay, see, it's trying to penetrate the it was a previous all-time high. It's a huge level. It's an even figure. Let's see. Remove this. A few days ago, this was a previous all-time high. We had it marked for a while. You can see that we take out, retested this level, tried to bounce, but the bounce is being reversed right now. So again, the reason why it's being reversed, you have to realize, why would they want to push it higher on a day where tomorrow is non-farm payrolls? So I would suggest you take half off, maybe lower your stop to same amount as your half off, and just let it run. So worst case, you're gonna be break even for the day. Okay. That's about it. I wish you all profitability but I'll see you all tomorrow at 8:10 a.m. New York time. Cheers.